Good evening and welcome to the golden years of Hollywood. Truly, we are in the golden years of Hollywood. You know, there was a time when Technicolor, essentially Technicolor, was more of a rarity than a commonplace thing. And a film in colour really had something special. And people were excited by it. Well, Jesse James comes from that period. It was released by 20th Century Fox in 1939 and was an enormous hit for the studio, and deservedly so. I think you're going to enjoy the film. Take a look at this picture, by the way. That's the real Jesse James. Let's have a look at another picture. This is Tyrone Power as Jesse James. So how close is the movie's drama to the facts? I'll have more to say about Jesse James in just a moment.
A hijacked train bound for Germany. A cargo worth millions.
Renoirs, Cézannes, 64 Picassos.
And one man stands in their way. For his nation's honor, he'll use every trick in the book. Starring Paul Scofield, Jean Moreau,
I know such fools.
and Burt Lancaster in the premiere thriller The Train, Friday, Fox Classics.
Welcome to the Cher Show on Earth!
A once-in-a-lifetime event. Collecting 6 Emmy Award nominations. The Farewell Concert Tour. Experience Cher in her farewell pay-per-view concert Saturday, September 20. Call 131 999 and book now.
The following program is classified PG. Fox Classics advise parental guidance is recommended for persons under 15 years.
Now for Jesse James, the film, not the fact. The film was produced and written by Nunnally Johnson, and part of his inspiration for his screenplay was a French play called The Purple Mask. You see, in 1939, and perhaps now in the year 2003, we rather like the folk hero approach. It certainly worked for the westerns. MGM made Billy the Kid with Robert Taylor, and Billy the Kid was a much nicer person than he was in real life. And then, of course, there were other westerns that didn't so much glorify the outlaws, but explained why they did what they did, like Belle Starr with Gene Tierney. She was a good girl, really, but circumstances made it very difficult for her. Well, that's the situation when it comes to Jesse James. Tyrone Power, 20th Century Fox, top male star. Very popular, naturally, at the box office. He was to play Jesse James. And I guess the screenplay was tailored by Nunnally Johnson so that it would be ideal for Tyrone Power. Ironically, over the years, we read a lot about Stagecoach and hear how great John Ford's Stagecoach was, and that was 39 too, but very little reference to Jesse James. Is it because of the folk hero approach in Jesse James? I wonder. But we must also bear in mind that in the 1930s, westerns were mainly B pictures. Oh yes, I know Cecil B. DeMille did The Plainsman and Union Pacific. But mainly westerns would run an hour and 10 minutes, or on the supporting half of a program. And Jesse James came out in 1939, was a box office bonanza for 20th Century Fox, and it was in Technicolor. Now in those days, there were very few films in Technicolor, or any colour. And this film, because it was in Technicolor, gained a lot more attention than many other westerns would, shot in black and white. And believe me, it looks good in 2003 too. There's a wonderful feeling about the film, a wonderful atmosphere. I'm impressed. And the casting was so good. Nancy Kelly never quite made it to the front rank of movie stars in the 40s. But Nancy Kelly was a very fine actress, capable of interesting work, as she demonstrated in the play and film version of The Bad Seed. Well, she is the leading lady for Tyrone Power in Jessie James, and I like her work in the film. Here's an interesting shot. This is beautiful. This is an original, not a copy. It's an original colour shot. That's Henry Fonda on the far left. He plays Frank James, and he did so also in the sequel, The Return of Frank James. There's Nancy Kelly, and there, between Nancy Kelly and Tyrone Power, Henry Hull, an editor who appreciates Jessie James and sees the good in what many people think is the bad. Also featured, as you can see in this shot, Randolph Scott. Now, Randolph Scott got billing fourth in the cast. He was a star, but not the major star that he was going to be over the next few years. Films like Western Union and When the Daltons Rode projected Randolph Scott into the front rank of Western stars. The cast includes Jane Darwell, seen here next to Tyrone Power, playing Mrs. James. And there, obviously the victim of a gunshot wound in the hand, one of the great villains of the screen in those days, Brian Donlevy. He could play heroes and villains with equal ease. Well, he also played a great mean villain in this. But the worst villain of all in this Jessie James is the one played by John Carradine. And I refer to the heinous Bob Ford. And there is John Carradine as Bob Ford looking at a reward poster. Oh, there's so much to love about Jessie James. I think we should feel about it a little kindly as we would think about the adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. He may not have been a real hero, he may have been on the wrong side of the law, but somehow he was an important figure as heroes go at that time. One of the one of the wickedest of all outlaws now becomes a rather wonderful man, misjudged and treated badly by society. Incidentally, this film includes two of the most stunning action moments, one involving a plate glass window and the other involving a cliff and a river. You'll never forget them if you've never seen Jessie James before.